Most experts think they need to describe themselves in a way that is flashy and clever. They don't. What they need is an expert headline. Now, if you've been tweaking your LinkedIn headline for weeks and you still can't describe yourself in a way that makes strangers lean in, reach out to you, respond to you, this is for you. Mistake number one was about the relationship. You were pitching too early. Mistake number two is about the words that you use to describe your work. Now, everybody tells you to niche down and get more specific, but in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to actually do that in a way that's not so confusing for you, in a way that's simple and effective and makes you sound premium. That way you don't have to play an endless guessing game with how you describe yourself or rely on a friend to tell you if they get it, if they think your headline sounds good. Because the real challenge is not communicating with a friend or referrals. Those are really easy to convert. The challenge is, how do you communicate with the massive audience of people that have never heard about you before that are potential clients? Because right now, someone with half your experience and half your skills is getting clients consistently because they've nailed this skill. And it's not because they're better at using AI. It's because they're using the right words to describe what they do. Now, to create your expert headline, you just have to combine three separate variables: the outcome, the market, and the pain. The outcome is a specific, measurable result that you deliver, like more leads, more sales, more dates, if you're in the relationship space. The market is the specific people who care most about the result and can actually pay you for it. And then the pain is the specific pain your market feels that you remove that others don't. When all three variables are present, you have a clear, tangible headline that works for you, not against you. Now, most experts are missing at least one, and each missing variable creates a different trap. Now, trap number one is being ignored. Building conversion machines for ambitious folks. This sounds so intangible that nobody knows what you do or who you do it for. So strangers ignore it. And this happens when you try to use words that are too clever or too fancy to describe what you do. Trap two is the mercenary. You see this in headlines like social media marketing results guaranteed fast. Now this screams, I'll do anything for anyone who pays. When you serve anyone and will do anything, that is the definition of unspecialized, making it impossible to command premium prices. And then trap number three is the commodity. You'll see this when people use their title in their headline, like paid ads expert or marketing expert or sales expert. Using your job title as your headline is the most generic approach. It makes your work look commoditized. Unless your job title is attached to a famous brand your ideal customer actually recognizes. Most experts are stuck in at least one of these traps, and they don't know it. Now here's what it looks like when all three of these variables are working together. Here's an example headline: converting up to 27% of cold traffic into qualified leads for consulting firms without spending 40 hours a week on marketing. The outcome, 27% conversion rate. The market, consulting firms. The pain, without spending 40 hours a week on marketing. All three variables are there. Now, right out the gates, this headline might not sound amazing, but one thing for sure is that it's clear and it's tangible. That's where you want to start. You want to use these three variables as a starting point and then work your way through it, finesse and refine the words without losing the clarity and that concreteness about your headline. Let's look at a few more examples. Here's one from the fitness industry. So if you had a generic headline, you might say something like, I'm a fitness coach. If you use an expert headline, you might say something like, helping dads get shredded without crowded gyms or long workouts. Outcome is clear, market is clear, and the pain is clear. Here's another example from the wealth space. Generic might say, I'm a wealth advisor. Someone with an expert headline could say something like, helping Canadian business owners build wealth using tax-first strategies without getting in trouble with the CRA. It's a bit longer, but it's still clear, it's still tangible, and it's clear who it's for. Okay, so let's get into the worksheet. If you didn't get it already, click the link below, download it, print it out so we can work through it right now. So step number one is to find your top outcome. And to do this, simply list all the different outcomes that you deliver to your customers. And you want to score them on these different variables that I'm going to list for you right now. Number one is, how measurable is this outcome? Vague results like feel more confident would score lower than something very tangible like 15 qualified leads per month. That would score much higher. The second variable is, how fast can you deliver this outcome? If it takes 2 years, then you would score that outcome lower than something that can be delivered in 45 days. The outcome with the highest score, that'll be your top outcome. And step two is to find your favorite customer. And to do this, make a list of all your clients And then you're going to grade them on these two variables. Who are the happiest clients? These are the ones who got the best results, they sent you referrals, and they were just generally, genuinely happy with your work. Second, you want to judge them on their motivation. How badly did they want help? People going through a shift in their life, like some kind of crisis or some kind of shift, leaving their 9 to 5 to become a solopreneur, or becoming a parent, or traveling to a new country, or going from making $100,000 to $1 million, or building a team for the first time. Every time someone goes through these life shifts, that creates a real business opportunity for you to create a transformation to help them bridge that transformation so they can go from here to there, from this current person that they are to this new person that's achieving this outcome. Okay, so at this point, you found your top outcome and you found your favorite customer. Step 3 is to find your pain, because your customer has alternatives, right? There are other ways that people can solve the problem that they have right now. The question isn't what makes you better. The question is what pain do you remove that others don't? That's an easy way for you to position yourself as a different solution and not a better solution. And you can think about this from the lens of time, effort, and sacrifice. What do people hate about the current way of solving this problem? Name that pain. And after that, once you have those variables locked in, the outcome, the market, and the pain, you simply write out your headline. And then you can also check it against those 3 traps that I mentioned: the ignored trap, the mercenary trap, and the commodity trap. Sharpen your headline until it's clear and tangible, and then move on. All right, that's mistake number 2. Let's move on to mistake number 3.